All right, so earlier this week we took notes from print and video sources referenced in the student writing prompt. So, the print source was a short history of a special plant, and the video source was corn from the CSA. Today I'm going to show you how I use a planning guide to organize an essay, and then you guys are going to organize before you start drafting. First, let's review the features of an informative/explanatory essay. So you need to be introducing the topic clearly. You need to develop the topics with facts, definitions, and details. You need to group related information together in paragraphs. You need to provide a concluding statement or section, and it needs to be written in third person. Okay, so this is the prompt that we are writing to. It says, based on facts and details from the text and illustrations of a short history of a special plant and information from the video Corn from the CSA, write an informative/explanatory essay in which you explain how corn is produced in the United States. So your task is to write and explain how corn is produced in the United States. Be sure to include an introduction, relevant facts and details from a short history of a special plant and the video Corn from the CSA, and then you need to have a conclusion related to the information present. So this is the sheet that you guys should have now. And we're going to start with this. So I know that my essay will need to include an introduction, and then I need the body paragraphs that develop my central ideas. So those are my main ideas. And I need a conclusion that brings my thoughts together at the end. I'm going to start with figuring out how I will organize the ideas in the body of my report. Okay, so I am looking at my notes, and I'm looking at the prompt, and I'm answering how corn is produced in the United States. So my introduction needs to represent that. So here is what I put for my introduction. I think that first I will present the key idea that most of the corn produced in the United States is grown in the Midwest. That will be a good way to lead into main ideas that will follow. So my introduction needs to, and you are just planning, you're not really writing everything out. You're basically talking about what you're going to write about in each of these. So in my introduction, I put that I'm clearly going to state that corn is produced by industrial methods and small farms. I need to make sure that these two methods used to grow corn are very different. Then, in my body paragraph, which is what I just talked about, I'm looking at my notes, and it's mostly about, you guys, your notes will be different. You took more notes than me, but most of the corn produced in the United States is grown in the Midwest. So that would be what I am writing for my body paragraph number 1. Number 2, you guys took notes on the CSA. So your body paragraph 2 should have something to do with the CSA. Remember, these need to have something to do with how corn is produced, industrial methods and small farms. So your body paragraphs need to relate back to your introduction. And then in my conclusion, I will need to restate my main ideas in body paragraph 1 and 2 in a new way. Okay? We have done a couple of things so far. We have taken notes, so we need to be checking this off. We took notes on what we saw and heard, and you guys should have stopped, paused, and replayed the video sources often. We have not written an introduction yet. We have not introduced the topic in the first paragraph yet. We are now organizing the concepts in a logical way. So that's what you're doing. You're planning this out. What are you going to write about in each of these paragraphs? That's what you're doing today. I cited the source text and/or author as needed. We haven't done that yet. We have not had a conclusion yet. Okay, so we should only have 2 that we're checking off. So, this is what you guys are doing today. And I'm just going to move this over. Whoop. I'm going to tell you and type out what you're doing. So during independent time, you're going to work on the planning stage. So you are going to plan what key ideas you are going to write about in each box. So each box is your introduction. What are you going to write about in your introduction? Remember, it needs to relate back to the question, explaining how corn is produced in the United States. It also needs to relate back to the notes that you took, okay? One of these, I'm giving you a hint, needs to be about the CSA, okay? After you plan what key ideas you're going to write about in each box, you're going to talk with a partner to check your ideas. Oh. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. Plan what key ideas you are going to write about in each box and write it down. So you'll write it here. So what's your introduction going to be like? What are you going to talk about in your body paragraph 1? What are you going to talk about in your body paragraph 2? And what are you going to talk about in your conclusion that answers this prompt?